See the remains of a dryad saddle there, or remains of a few in fact. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. Do I always do that? Say hello and then look over there. It's probably because I'm trying to remember what I'm doing, what I'm going to say. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you a story. I think it's interesting. It could also be relevant for various people who have looked into alternative ideas, let's say. Well, I'll start at the beginning. I think, or I know that at a very young age I was aware that this all wasn't right. Okay, that's all I'm going to say for now. Then when I was 6, we went back into class at school after lunch, and our teacher said, "Come on over here, I want to tell you a story." And she told us the story of the Great Flood from the Bible. Now during the telling, or at some point quite soon into the telling of it, I started crying, and I kind of tried to hide it. And I noticed her look at me a number of times, and in the end I was just in floods of tears. And she put the book down and said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "When is it gonna happen?" I remember the words, when is it going to happen? Because for me, it was real. So there are probably those of you who do know that actually in every culture all over the world they have a great flood story, and that even they've even found proof that the sea level rose 120 meters, like 400 feet in very quickly. And apparently a lot of evidence goes and proves that it rose by 30 foot in one day. I think it's 30 foot, it might be 30 meters. Either way, that's still a huge amount for the sea level to rise in one day. So if I give you a little bit of additional info for the story, my mother can't swim. She's got a real phobia about water. Pretty much deep water or the sea, you know. Anyway, so as a result, although I went swimming at school, I didn't really, because they can't give one-to-one personal coaching and give you confidence on a one-to-one level when you're in a group, you know. And they can't, so you can't wait for the lowest common denominator, can you, when you've got people who could do it straight away or know how to do it. So anyway, as a result, she wouldn't let my father take us swimming, me and my brother, so I didn't really learn. But when I was about 14 or 15, we went on holiday to Cornwall, and I taught my brother to swim because I knew all the theory. I'd read books on how to do it, so I knew all the theory. I just didn't have the confidence, but I was able to give him the confidence to do it, even though he says he can't remember. But one of the other things that I think was really interesting, or the next bit that I'll come to, because this story spreads a long time. was that whenever I was at the beach, on the beach, I would be constantly, not constantly, I would occasionally do stuff, but I would be keeping a close eye on the sea, because I was looking for a tidal wave coming. Now it wasn't, I didn't think anything of it when I was a child. It was just what I did. I didn't tell anyone. And then it was only after the Christmas, the Boxing Day tsunami in the Indian Ocean that I kind of realised that these things were real and actually did happen. But yeah, you know, even to this day, if I go onto the beach, I am watching for a tidal wave. Not a tidal wave, as well, maybe a tidal wave, maybe a tsunami. What I'm watching for is a body of water coming at me. And I plan my escape route, even though, you know, I know you don't have a chance. So the other thing, and that's why I hadn't planned to do this video, as I said, you know, it's not called A Coincidental Life for nothing. I am at a place where, in fact, as you look out from this wood across the plain, in 1607 it was actually covered by the waters of a tsunami that happened in the Bristol Channel. I used to live just up there, and one night I dreamt that the water, the sea, came right up to where I was living in the caravan, or showman's wagon to be precise. And I went up to the house going, oh, the waters are up to the caravan. That was before I found out about the tsunami, and that the waters did indeed lap at the foot of this hill. Now you'll also have seen in a few videos where I cross a ford. It's not, you know, it's not even that deep that I get a bit anxious before crossing it, because I have this other thing where I feel like sometimes, certainly if I can't see the bottom, I just think that the bottom is going to empty, you know, become a big hole, and I'll just get sucked down into it. Which is quite a strange thing to think, isn't it? But I was talking to my daughter, and she said, even though she can swim, she said, oh, if I'm in the swimming pool, I can't swim over any drain or anything, because I feel like it's going to open up and suck me right down. I thought that was interesting. So yeah, that's I just find that interesting, bearing, you know, because all of this has not come from any knowledge of anything that actually happened, which is why I never shared it with anyone. No one knew. You know, there are certain things you just keep to yourself, don't you? Just because they just sound so strange, for want of a better word. Anyway, so you know, there are things you can investigate off of the back of this. I'm not saying nothing, mate. I can neither confirm nor deny that I may or may not have seen anything or looked into anything, or not. See you next time. Ta-da. Following the water.